Diversity and representation are a good thing, but the way you go about them is so very important. And with the way that Hollywood has been going about them has certainly not been the correct way. They have gone down a path of replacing, changing, and denigrating characters and groups of people to achieve their narrative of diversity. So it's not real diversity. It's inclusion by exclusion, and I have said it over and over. To achieve diversity and equality, you must bring everyone up together. You must add in new and well-written characters and not replace ones that have existed, and not exclude entire groups of people just to represent other groups, which is what I am worried will happen to DC, as Jim Lee has decided to take a stance and say the future of DC Comics will be about developing characters that are inclusive and diverse, and going forward, that's all they really care about. DC Comics publisher Jim Lee appeared at a spotlight panel at C2E2 to address the future of DC Comics following the dismissal of his co-publisher Dan Didio. As reported by Newsarama, Lee indicated that they do not in fact plan to replace Dan, but that he will act as a sole publisher. There's continually new things going on, and I look at being sole publisher now and the team I'm working with. Much more in trenches now than ever before. DC Comics publisher would also address rumors that have been circulating following Dan's dismissal. Some of the more prominent rumors indicate that Marvel and Kevin Feige could take over DC Comics. Others indicate that AT&T could license out DC Comics to other comic publishers and retain the character's license for film and TV. However, one of the more recent rumors from Bleeding Cool's Rich Johnston details that upcoming books are being significantly reworked, and it is unclear as to why they are being reworked, but it speculates that it's due to changes being made to the previously announced DC Comics timeline at NYCC and believed to be called 5G. Now, these are all just rumors and speculation, but the true topic that I wanted to discuss was Jim Lee discussing diversity and inclusivity. Lee then detailed what DC Comics' editorial focus for the future would be. Our focus in talking to editorial teams is to continue to do what we have done best. Character-driven stories, pairing right creators on right characters, and developing characters that are inclusive and diverse. This focus on developing inclusive and diverse characters does match up with the rumors concerning DC Comics' 5G initiative. We all know what they mean by diverse and inclusive. They just mean less white cis male characters. Can't we just create good characters with good stories and not worry about throwing a narrative behind them? Not every character needs to represent a narrative. We all know that this is just about making money. Hollywood is still under the delusion that the future of making money is in going woke, even though all of the examples that have proven them wrong apparently aren't enough yet, and we've seen creators in the comic book industry act the same way. Plus, we've seen new comic series come out that are all about being woke. To me, that is a turnoff. It makes me not want to support these products, and I used to love collecting comic books, but now I just do not have the passion to purchase anything new. At the end of the day, because of all of the statements like this from Jim Lee, because of everything that Hollywood has done to all of these different properties, I cannot take it as genuine or serious anymore. We can all see what this really is. It's a poor business decision. It's virtue signaling, it's clout chasing, and I will never support that. Jim Lee, if you are sincere about this whole thing, I would be very happy. I am okay with supporting diversity and inclusivity when it's done correctly and when the creators truly mean it. If you do this correctly, I would be very surprised, but with where the comic book industry has headed, from the examples that Hollywood has set, you certainly have a lot to prove, and I worry about what is really behind this statement. But that is all that I really had to discuss today. Do you think that this could, going forward, really hurt DC Comics? Do you think that this whole situation could continue and we could see more comic books failing and more of a decline? Or do you think that diversity and inclusivity is important, and do you think that it will sell more comics? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and of course if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.